Hello, in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to write the mechanism of this reaction. So the reaction you see on the screen is known as addition reaction. Another name for this reaction would be hydrohalogenation. And because we're dealing with bromine, it's going to be hydrobromination. So we have this, and then we're going to split this reagent, the HBr, into its Lewis structure and show all the valence electrons that are remaining. Bromine has 7 valence electrons and only used 1 for bonding. So you have 6 of them remaining. And that gives us 3 lone pairs. Okay? Hydrogen only has 1, so we do not have any lone pairs on hydrogen. Now the next step is which part of this double bond is going to react first, okay? These two reagents, this is the small one, this is the bulky one, right? Now, according to Markovnikov rule, the bulky one, the bromine, has to go to the more substituted carbon, while the hydrogen goes to the less substituted carbon. So this carbon here is more substituted because you have more things attached to it, whereas this other carbon has less things attached to it. So we actually just have only 2 hydrogens here, okay? Right? And you have just 1 hydrogen here, but more carbons. So this is more substituted. So that's the carbon that would have the bromine, and the hydrogen will go to the other one that has just hydrogens. So with that information, it will help us draw the right arrows. So for the hydrogen, the arrow is going to go from this carbon. The double bond will grab the hydrogen. Now, hydrogen has a partial positive charge, while the bromine has a partial negative charge. This double bond has partial negative. Note that. And that is why what is going to grab would be the hydrogen. And when that happens, this bond is forced to break. Now, over here, we're going to have the hydrogen attached here. Now, originally, we had 2 hydrogen. Okay, if you've not watched my video on how to identify carbons and hydrogen in a line structure, please do, so that you will understand why I said that there are 2 hydrogens originally in that carbon. So now we've added the new hydrogen, the original 2 plus the one we just added. Now there is going to be a positive ion here. So because this carbon here gave out one of its electrons that helped to create the new bond that you see over here, it's going to gain a positive charge, and that's what we call a carbocation. All right? Now, of course, with that carbocation, that becomes like the intermediate. So the reaction is not over yet. Remember that when this hydrogen was picked up, right, this bond broke. So the bromine is still somewhere in the system. It's going to be Br. Now, because this bond broke, a bond has 2 electrons. So that electron is going to be here, plus the original electrons that the bromine had earlier. So those electrons are still there. Now, because this bromine gained an additional 1 electron, the electron from the hydrogen was added to it, right? It had 1, which is this, and then 1 was added to it. It gains a negative charge. Okay? So now that we have all those written out, the next step would then be for the bromine with the negative charge, the positive charge is going to attract it. So it's going to attack that positive charge. Okay? And when it does that, the final product of this addition reaction would now be the bromine right here. Now, remember I said it's not necessary to write out the hydrogens. Okay? You could do that, but it's not really necessary because this is a line structure. So the final product will just be this. Okay?